Hey everyone, and welcome back to the English Leap podcast. This is your favorite show for learning English and growing through real talks. I'm Jake, and I'm Emma. We are so happy you are here today because this topic is very special to us. Yes, let's be honest. We live in a world that loves fast results. Change your life in 30 days, wake up at 5 a.m., learn a new language in 1 month. It is everywhere. At first, it sounds exciting, but when you try to keep up with that much pressure, you get too tired and stop. I have done it so many times. I would set a big goal, miss one day, and suddenly think, I failed again. Then the bad feelings start. Feeling bad, thinking too much, and telling myself I am just not strong enough. I have been there too. I used to think something was wrong with me. Like, why couldn't I follow my own plans? I thought I just didn't have enough drive. But now I know it wasn't me, it was the way I was doing it. Yes, because being disciplined does not have to feel like a punishment. It is not about pushing yourself too hard. It is about making small, easy habits, things you can actually keep doing even on a bad day. And that is what this show is really about, how we can build real discipline without getting too stressed out. We will share 5 tiny habits that helped us stay on track even when life got messy, busy, or hard to plan. These habits are simple, almost too simple, but they work because they are easy to do. Once something is easy, you keep doing it. And when you keep doing it, that is when things really change. So while we talk, think about this. What is one small thing you can do every day, even when you don't feel great? That one habit could be the start of everything. Oh, and later in the show, Crystal will join us for her word breakdown. She will explain the natural English words and phrases from today's talk. Exactly. I've got so many thoughts on what happened this week. It really is shifting daily. I mean, did you see the demo they dropped on Tuesday? Oh, absolutely. It blew my mind. But it also raised some pretty huge questions about how we define art in the first place. Right. So let's get right into it, because we have a lot to unpack today.
So if you are learning English, you will get even more out of this.
And if you want to learn more, we also made a free PDF you can download. It has all the words, questions to think about, and small practice tasks. You can find the link in the episode notes.
All right, ready to stop worrying and build discipline in a new way? Let's get started. Here is the first tiny habit that changed everything.
For years, I thought discipline meant doing big things. If I wanted to stay on track, I had to work very hard. So I made these huge promises to myself. I will write for 2 hours every day. Or I will go to the gym 5 times a week.
And every time I couldn't do it, I felt like a failure. I didn't just break a plan, I stopped trusting myself.
Then I heard something that changed my mind. Make the habit so small that it is impossible to fail. I didn't really understand it first, but one day I told myself, don't write 2 pages, just write 1 sentence.
And I did. That day I wrote 1. The next day I wrote 3, and slowly it became a normal part of my day.
Yeah, I had a similar moment with exercise. I used to think if I don't work out for 45 minutes, it is not worth it at all.
But when I made the habit tiny, like just stretching for 2 minutes, it took away all that pressure. No bad feelings, no failure.
And the amazing thing is, once I started, I usually kept going. That is the secret. Starting helps you keep moving.
Exactly. Making a habit small is not about having low goals. It is about making it easy to start. When something feels light and easy, it is simpler to begin. And once you start, you realize you're not lazy, you're just tired of doing too much.
So if you are struggling to stay on track right now, don't try to do more. Try to do less. Make it very, very easy. 1 push-up, 1 new English word, or 1 deep breath before you check your phone.
Exactly.
I've got so many thoughts on what happened this week. It really is shifting daily. I mean, did you see the demo they dropped on Tuesday? Oh, absolutely. It blew my mind. But it also raised some pretty huge questions about how we define art in the first place. Right, so let's get right into it because we have a lot to unpack today.
That is where real change starts. Once I got into the habit of showing up just a little bit each day, something surprising happened. I started noticing how I talked to myself and how often I said I was sorry, even when I did nothing wrong. I used to say sorry for everything. Sorry I'm late, sorry I talked too much, sorry for asking again. I thought I was being nice, but what I was really doing was making myself feel less important. I was telling everyone that I was in the way. That makes sense. I used to say sorry in work emails even when I didn't need to. Like, sorry to bother you, or sorry for the late reply, even if it was only 1 hour late. Over time, that kind of talk made me feel small, like I had to apologize just for being there. Then someone told me, don't say sorry, say thank you. So instead of, sorry I'm late, now I say, thank you for waiting. Instead of, sorry I'm talking too much, I say, thank you for listening. It doesn't just sound better, it feels better. It moves the feeling from being bad to being thankful.
It is a tiny change that builds a very different way of thinking. And honestly, it helps your English sound more sure and natural too. These kinds of kind phrases make talking feel more human. So here is the tiny habit. Notice when you say sorry for no reason and change it to thanks. It builds self-respect and people will feel that from you. And here is the beautiful thing. Once you stop making yourself feel small and stop saying sorry for taking up space, you start to feel more alive. You begin to notice what is already good around you. And when you do, you realize maybe life doesn't always need to be fixed. Maybe it just needs to be noticed. That is exactly what happened to me. I remember one evening I was walking home with my headphones on. I was tired from the day. Exactly. I've got so many thoughts on what happened this week. It really is shifting daily. I mean, did you see the demo they dropped on Tuesday? Oh, absolutely. It blew my mind. But it also raised some pretty huge questions about how we define art in the first place. Right. So let's get right into it because we have a lot to unpack today.
Jake, the sunlight was just right, that soft gold color that feels warm even on a cool day. Without thinking, I stopped and thought, if this isn't life, I don't know what is. Since then, it became a quiet habit, when my coffee tastes great, when I hear birds while waiting at a red light. When the world is busy, but for a few seconds I feel okay, I stop and say it out loud or in my head. If this isn't life, I don't know what is.
I love that so much because the world makes us think that life is only about big wins. But the little things are what stay with us. That 5-second break, that first deep breath in the morning, or that song you really love.
For people trying to be more disciplined, I will say this. Don't just track how many tasks you finish, track how many moments you really enjoyed. Because discipline isn't just about doing work, it's about feeling good in your life.
So here is the habit. The next time something small feels good, even for 5 seconds, stop and say that line. Say it until your mind learns how to slow down and feel again.
Because maybe this is life. Maybe this small, normal moment is exactly what we have been rushing past. You know what is funny? Once I started noticing the good things, I also started noticing what takes that peace away. And the biggest thing is stress. Yeah, it comes in so quietly. Sometimes your chest feels tight or your thoughts move too fast, and suddenly the calm is gone. I used to think stress meant I was doing something wrong, but now I see it in a new way. For a long time, I thought stress was the enemy. I would think, why am I like this? Why can't I stay calm like other people? But then I heard an idea that changed everything. It is not stress that hurts us. It is what we think about stress that does. Exactly. Exactly. I've got so many thoughts on what happened this week. It really is shifting daily. I mean, did you see the demo they dropped on Tuesday? Oh, absolutely. It blew my mind. But it also raised some pretty huge questions about how we define art in the first place. Right. So let's get right into it because we have a lot to unpack today.
So here's the habit. Put a gap between the thing that upsets you and your answer. Even a few seconds is enough.
That small space protects your friendships, your peace, and your future. And the best part is you can practice it like a muscle. Every time you choose to wait, you are building emotional strength.
I love that. And if you have listened this far, thank you for staying with us.
We know today's show was more personal, but we hope it gave you some peace and the choice to go easy on yourself.
And now it is time for one of our favorite parts. Let's slow down even more and look at some of the beautiful words we use today.
That's right, it is time for Crystal's Vocabulary Breakdown. Whether you are learning English or just love words, Crystal is here to help. Take it away, Crystal.
Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Emma. And hello again, lovely listeners. It's Crystal here. I am so glad you are still with us. Let's take a quiet moment to look at some of the words you heard today. I will go slow so you can follow, repeat, and even whisper them back. Let's start with a feeling many of us know. Lack. To lack something means you do not have enough of it, like time or focus. Example. I used to think I lacked discipline. Say it with me softly. I used to think I lacked discipline. It is okay to feel that way. Now a word about strength. Willpower. Willpower is your inner power to do something hard, even when you don't feel like it. Example. She had the willpower to study every night. Let's say it together. She had the willpower to study every night. Now this one is about balance. Extremes. Extremes are the far ends, doing too much or not enough. Example. I always jumped between extremes, all or nothing. Say it slowly.
I always jumped between extremes, all or nothing. Now here is a phrase we have all felt: burnout.
Exactly. I've got so many thoughts on what happened this week.
It really is shifting daily. I mean, did you see the demo they dropped on Tuesday?
Oh, absolutely. It blew my mind. But it also raised some pretty huge questions about how we define art in the first place.
Right. So let's get right into it because we have a lot to unpack today.
Crystal. Example. Saying thank you helped me build gratitude. Repeat with a smile. Saying thank you helped me build gratitude. Now something quiet. Creep in. When something creeps in, it enters slowly without you noticing right away. Example. Stress would creep in without warning. Say it softly. Stress would creep in without warning. Notice it and let it go. And finally, push someone's buttons. If someone pushes your buttons, they do something that makes you upset right away. Example. He really knows how to push my buttons when I am tired. Try it with me. He really knows how to push my buttons when I am tired. That is all for today, my friend. Choose just one word and think about it today. Whisper it or write it down. I will be here again next time. Until then, thank you for learning gently.
Thank you, Crystal. That was lovely.
Yeah, so calming. I hope you feel a little better now.
If today's show helped you, please share it with a friend. And don't forget to get the free PDF in the notes.
Until next time, take care of yourself and keep learning gently. See you soon.
Your progress doesn't end here. To keep improving your English, click on the next video or watch the other videos we picked for you. Wow. Exactly. I've got so many thoughts on what happened this week.
It really is shifting daily. I mean, did you see the demo they dropped on Tuesday?
Oh, absolutely. It blew my mind. But it also raised some pretty huge questions about how we define art in the first place.
Right. So let's get right into it because we have a lot to unpack today.